There's a short story which proves for the 17,000th time I've done this that you can't turn a HOE into a housewife, okay? It is not going to work. Gals that you meet on Tinder or any of those other shady apps, girls that would have did one-night stands or friends with benefits, is a terrible idea. And oftentimes, if they're getting involved with a guy and settling down, they're looking for their nice guy to be their provider, and they will continue on their activities. And this guy learns this eventually. He's now kicking his wife to the curb, thank God. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my wife I want a divorce and I do not trust her? And a shout out to Mike for sending over this story. So it starts off, says here, I, a 26-year-old male, got married to Ava, another 26-year-old, last year, and we've been together for 4 years. When Ava and I first met, we dated a few times before committing, and she was honest with me that she went on other dates and also had some one-night stands with some guys before we decided to be together. Red flag, break up, right then and there. You don't want the girl that does one-night stands. And that's a lot of guys in a short period of time, just throw in their multiple one-night stands and all that. Well, unfortunately, this guy didn't have material like this then. Well, she was upfront about it, so I didn't have a problem with that. Smack! Are you nuts, dude? That's nice she told him. I'll give her that. I'm sure she didn't tell him everything, but still. It was after our wedding, when Ava had some friends over and we were all hanging out, that things started to change for me. Her friends were all talking about Ava's type and how I was not it. How interesting. Maybe you are her type to marry, but certainly not her type to hook up with. Ava tried to get them off the topic, but they then mentioned Brennan, who's friends with Ava, and the friends who were there that day, who she semi-regularly hangs out with in the group. Brennan was one of those one-night stands Ava had before we became a couple. Hold on here. You saying this Ava chick, his wife, has male friends and hangs out with them, and this guy was one of her one-night stands? That is a terrible idea. And apparently, he wants to be more than friends, which when I asked her if it was true, she confirmed. Well, right then and there should be no hanging out with Brendan. There should be hanging out with any guys because she's a married woman now. Or better yet, they shouldn't be married at all because it's a disaster. Well, it's not just him either. There are 2 other guys who hang out with her and her friends, who she has pretty regular contact with, and they're also interested in Ava, and they flirt with her frequently. Well, it sounds like Ava's the town bicycle, so you can see why they're doing that, because they figure that they can get some action sooner or later here. And even her friends are disrespecting him right then and there, talking about not being her type and all that. You know, she got together with this guy because she saw a sure thing and wanted to get married. Not because she wanted to get married, because she wanted a ceremony and the whole show. She says she doesn't see any harm in letting them flirt as long as she kept her boundaries firmly in place, and she just told me just because they're her regular type doesn't mean she'd cheat on me with any of them. Okay, Miss One-Night Stand type. And she likes to keep him around because she likes the attention and validation. Big surprise. Then she told me she wouldn't stop being friends with any of them or these guys, and I would need to accept it. Oh, here we go. Her telling him what's what. Does it sound like she loves her guy? Does it sound like she respects her guy? Not at all. Nope. He needs to lay down the law and say, okay, well then we don't have to be married anymore. But frankly, they should be married. I asked her would she be fine if it was I who was still in contact with someone I had you-know-what with before, who still liked me and was open about wanting to be with me. Good question. She told me that I never did hookups or casual, and I only did serious relationships, so that'd be different, and she would not like me to be friends with any of my exes. Oh, okay, how interesting. Rules for thee, but not for me. She's one of those. Dude, why the hell did you get involved with this girl, let alone marry her? She's a piece of garbage. She's full of crap. I asked her to pretend I had a past, hookups, and we were still friends, and she got annoyed and told me I was trying to twist things. It takes one to know one. There you go. He's fighting fire with fire here. I'm glad he's not backing down. Look at the crap she's pulling. Never argue with women, guys. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your energy. They're going to pull this shit. You're best just planning your escape, planning your action, and disappearing. That's the best way. One of my problems with all this was that she was honest as she went on other dates and had some one-night stands, but she never told me one was her friend. Add to that, she's friends with guys who flirt with her and want to be with her, and she wouldn't answer how she feel in the reverse. The other thing is that she lets the flirting happen, and even though she said she has boundaries in place, sometimes she looks and sounds like she's flirting back. You're darn right she's flirting back. If she wasn't doing anything to encourage these guys to continue on with it, eventually they'd stop. Obviously, this has been going on lots of times. And I guarantee you, anytime that her husband here is telling the story that she's mad at him, has issue with him, that's when she's going to definitely be wide open in more ways than one towards the attention, validation, and frankly, some dick. So no, this is just a terrible situation. Maybe that's my paranoia because I was blindsided by the Brennan thing. But on a night out, she was talking to friends about how exciting the party animal, slightly bad boy guys are and how attractive they were to her. Oh, another one. Here we go. Loves the bad boys. What could go wrong? That's not me at all, and hearing her say that in front of those guys who fit that description, after everything else, I just lost my trust in her. Thank God, bro. It's about freaking time. Yeah, she likes to hook up with and have one-nighters with the bad boys, but she settles down with and marries the nice guy because he's reliable. She knew you would be the type that would go out with her, in a relationship with her. She knew the type that would marry her and not cheat on her and provide and all that. Well, she has her fun. Why do you think she's keeping those guys around? This is why, guys, you can't turn an 8-show into a housewife. And remember, if you are that typical nice guy and girls like this weren't really giving you the time of day, but suddenly you're doing it, there's a reason. Be careful. I realized after that talk, I just do not trust her. Then after thinking about how dismissive she was when I tried to talk to her about it, I started to come to the conclusion that we just wouldn't work. Thank the Lord. Lacey's doing this after 1 year of marriage as opposed to 10. I don't have an issue with her being friends with guys. Smack! Well, that makes you the nice guy. That's dumb, dude. But the only guys she's friends with are her usual type, and she slept with one of them already and has a flirty relationship with them. There's no way I would feel secure with that, and I don't want this to become a toxic relationship. Brother, it's already a toxic relationship. She already told me she won't stop being friends with them, which is fine, but I know I can't accept it after everything. You shouldn't have to accept it. End of story. I told her a couple weeks ago I want a divorce. Awesome, bro. I guess it's past the 1 year mark at this point that he can't do an annulment. She wanted to know why, and I told her the truth. I don't trust her. She says it was a cop-out and a poor reason to divorce, but I don't know. I think it's better to end it now than wait for it to become something toxic or bad, but maybe I'm being a jerk about the whole thing. Am I the a-hole? Smack! Of course you're asking that because you're the typical nice guy. At least your actions prove that. No, you're not the a-hole, bro. She's being the a-hole. She's dismissive to your feelings. She doesn't care about you. Her having those guy friends around her that she's hooked up with, and probably others she's hooked up regularly, before and during and after you, that they're more important to her than you. What does that say? Okay? Look, you're 26 years old. You got married too young to a girl that you never should have gotten involved with to begin with. Okay? But you were 22. Your whole life ahead of you. 26 years old. Get the divorce. You couldn't have that much assets together at this point. Take whatever hit you have and move on. And next time, be a lot smarter about who you get involved with, okay? Girls that do hookups and one-night stands and friends with benefits, girls, Tinder girls, stuff like that, that's not relationship material at all. And when you learn, and also, clearly there were things in your personality that showed her that she could pull crap like that, saying, I'm not giving up my friends and expect you to go along with it. Your behavior showed her she could push you around. But the cool thing is, she didn't expect you to say that's it, I'm done with her. You shocked her. So it shows that you have it in you within deep when you're pushed too far. So good for you. No, you're not the a-hole. Go talk to a lawyer. Get over it. Get the thing moving forward and move on. End of freaking story. Now, a couple comments here. One guy says here, to me, a one-night stand is someone who doesn't remain in your life. These are friends with benefits. I think she had been honest about that early on and said she wasn't prepared to stop her inappropriate behavior towards them. You never would have gotten married. Her response doesn't exactly show she's willing to change her behavior in any way and try to save your marriage. She can only say you're insecure by considering the lies of omission and ongoing behavior you have every reason to be. Get the legal process moving. Yeah, exactly. Another one. Not the a-hole. She's completely disregarding how you feel, and she is flirting with other men without seeing any problem in it. She is not wife material. She can enjoy the flirt and the interest in other men being single. Right. Exactly. Like, hey, clearly you don't want to be married, so we're done. End of story. Go have fun with all of them. And it's a possibility she's going to put on the full court press and waterworks, and I'm so sorry. because she doesn't want to lose her meal ticket. Well, don't fall for it. So anyway, guys, there you go. Don't get involved with the Tinderellas, the one-night stand girls. You can't turn an HO into a housewife. Proves it once again.